Hi there, Capricorn. Welcome to Eyes to See Tarot. And just some general messages from Spirit and the Tarot cards. Let's see if we can dig up just some general messages. Anything that Capricorn might need to know. Anything you want to tell Capricorn while I have them on the phone? Again, welcome to Eyes to See Tarot. We get loose here when I'm not stuttering and bumbling. Oh, no. Okay, so this is just a side note. Okay. There is something that you have relinquished or let go, but you're still kind of worried about. Does that make any sense? But for some of you, I think there's something that you relinquished and let go, but you don't have the full story on. Like, I wasn't given all the information, so I do feel the need to forgive or to handle the situation just a little bit softer. My intuition, my intuitive pull was to be cruel about it, but then I second-guessed myself, right? But there are still some secrets back there, something having to do with family, I would say. Let's go ahead and start again. All right. Any messages that you might have for my Capricorns? Any messages that you might have for my Capricorns, please? I mean, do you want to talk at all, or do you want to go to bed? Okay. So I have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. There is something that's kind of coming to light. Oh, okay. And then given the past situation, is that probably the way that you handle things, the way that you choose to handle things? Like, maybe maybe it's not necessarily that you didn't get all the information. It's just that you had like a, what do they call that? A change of heart. Right? That I don't necessarily want to be that vicious when it comes to things anymore. And by that vicious, I am talking about solely that Five of Swords. That Five of Swords is a very vicious kind of energy, right? It's a do or die. It's a defeat at all costs. It's a negating for or a lack of compassion for anybody else involved, just as long as you come out on top. Right, that is the negative energy. I'm not just assuming that Capricorns have this kind of thing that they need to relinquish. I am reading the tarot. So, but there is this coming to Jesus meeting, right, within yourself, where you're just like, you're getting the feeling, or you're getting the intuitive pull that that is just not what you want to do, or act or react. That's not how you want to do it anymore. Oh my God. And the Five of Swords again is at the bottom of the deck. Didn't I shuffle again? Anyway, let's go ahead and pull some more. I want a few more. Now, for those of you that might not be feeling this way, give it a little bit of time. And then if it's not on your heart to do so, let it slide. Not everything is for everybody. We're not as individuals and people. We're not just categorized into 12, what do they call them, states? This isn't the Hunger Games, for God's sake. Okay, you too. Okay, now, but then again, there's still that Ace of Swords, right? Right? What was it? The moon. The moon was denotive of the secret, the unseen, right? There is something that people are hiding from you. People around you are not giving you all of the information. Now, be this because that you're deciding, right, with the Eight of Cups here, to walk away from it and then have no more involvement in it. Like if you walked away from a situation and they're talking shit behind your back, right, in front of the friends aren't going back and telling you. Well, it doesn't really matter because I've already cut that. I'm like, you know what? Bless his heart. Bless her heart. You know, I'm done with that. I'm not stooping to that level anymore, and I'm not getting around people or engaging with people who make me want to stoop to that level. I see a new lease, right? With the Page of Pentacles, there is a new way of dealing with things, right? You do have a new way of dealing with things. There are some things, let's see. All right. Okay, now this could have been a long-standing struggle too, like a long-term relationship, a long-term job, something that you have constantly, again and repetitively had beef with, or found yourself kind of put over a barrel with. Now I'm deciding to handle things just a little bit differently, regardless of how they're handling things, because I'm not being puppeted by somebody and their inability to ascend or to change or to be better or to aspire to be better. I don't need your permission to be a better person. But if you don't choose to do it, then I just need to get from around you and find somebody that does. Whew, these are a lot of cards. Okay, I do see a new journey, and I do see releasing something. So this Eight of Cups, this releasing, this Four of Pentacles in reverse, the Fool card, there is a new start, there is a new journey, there is a new lease on life. Like I said, not all Capricorns are going to fit into this reading, but if it is laid on your heart to go ahead and walk away, despite the fact that there's still some beef or still some remaining beef, you know what, then let them choke on it. I'm not hanging around here anymore. Let them. Have fun eating and feasting on that rotten corpse. I'm going to get the King's Banquet. All right. What else do I have for my Capricorn? Because let me tell you, there's a lot of cards out and there's a lot of situations unfolding. I don't even see a deck that I want to read from. What am I supposed to read from? It's got to be tarot cards. This is a tarot card channel. Let's see. What else? What other messages do I have for my Capricorn? Do I want to know about the Fool? Do I want to know about the new journey? It's just a walking away. So, with that being said, the first step is always the hardest. So you might trip up there. You might not decide not to. You might blah, 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 blah. The list goes on and on. But the first step is the walking away, right? It can be laid on your heart. I can sit there and lay and think about it all day in bed. I can talk about it. I can do this. I can do that until I actually do it. There's nothing to see here, right? It has to be one of those motives, and I'm not saying to do it just because I say to do it. That's a bad idea. That's always a bad idea. No, 98%. Yeah, 93% a bad idea. Okay. There's some of you that might be up in your head. This portion of the message is for you. Those that may not be completely convinced that this is the way to go, or that this is what you want to do. There's no real opportunity for you that I see. Yeah, it has to come from inside. Like, this can't be something that you're doing just because I'm saying to do it, or because I say, you know, all the other 5th grade classes are doing it. Nothing like that. It has to be what chapter you are on in your textbook at that particular time. So those that are up in your head about it and that haven't been laid on your heart to take that first step or to put away that animosity and decide to be better, there's but I do want to know. I want to read for them too. I mean, like, what about them? What about them? I want some messages. Those that are up in your head about walking away. up in your head about walking away, this could be a free will reading. If you are up in your head about walking away, there's nothing I can do to convince you, because it's not supposed to come from me. I'm not going to challenge you to think differently. I'm not going to pluck a flower before it's ready. I'm not going to sit there and preach over a tomato that is still green. It'll be red in time. Anything for the Capricorns that are up in their heads, trying to make a decision whether to stay or go. Okay, I see the Wheel of Fortune. Do let it pass as it is, and the Page of Swords. There is still, those that are up in your heads, you have not gotten all the information yet. And yes, I know that the previous Capricorns are being withheld information from, with the Moon card. And you know what I'm saying? And the Ace of Swords in reverse. But that's a different kind of withholding information, right? That's information that I have made a conscious decision to not make relevant in my life decisions. I'm not going to be puppeted by people that cannot even control their own emotions or self or situations. I'm not going to be puppeted by people who consistently paddle the boat towards the rough waters or the shitty brown waters, right? I'm going this way. It's a different decision altogether. But those that are up in your head and still have not made that conscious decision, baby, there's still some learning to do. There's still some things that you will understand or comprehend, or start to comprehend, that this only the situation itself will be able to teach you or show you. But do I have any information? I just want to do a reading for them. No, it is you. I got the Six of Pentacles, some sort of fairness or unfairness, some sort of worry and anxiety, and some sort of lack of compassion. Well, I do see what's good for the goose is good for the gander. There is some sort of lack of compassion here, some sort of lack of understanding or an irrelevance. Like you make somebody feel irrelevant, or that their feelings are irrelevant, which only adds to their worry, which makes them or has them in a position to where they want to get even, or they would like to get even, or that they even do unto others as you've done unto them. And I'm not picking sides, I'm not saying it could be very well be you, but if you find yourself in that situation where I'm treated this way so often that I find myself wanting to treat innocent people that way, or to retaliate and treat them that way, even though it's out of character, these are all things that will come about and come to light as the time goes on. I see the Ace of Wands. I see a lack of action as far as working with you, a lack of desire to work with this person, right? I see the Ace of Swords in reverse, or tell them what's going on. I do see the Hierophant here, right? Like teaching and preaching on when times were good, but times are consistently not that way now, right? I do have a reluctance to call on that call to action. If they ever say, hey, can you grab me a cup of coffee out the kitchen, I could be standing right there by the coffee pot, and I will act like I did not hear you, because that is just what I feel towards you and the situation at this time. However, I am constantly telling, teaching, preaching, walking in the way, and like giving relationship advice to people, because I do remember when it was good. However, I still have not, it has not become, the problems, the issues that are arising have not become tangible enough for me to actually grasp, right? So if I have a little bitty blonde hair somewhere, it's really not enough for me to pull out my tweezers until my eyebrows have gotten bushy. You understand? Like it's not enough to grasp at this time, but it is something buzzing around like a little bugging fly, you know, at this time. That I possibly could be lying to myself about. I see the Five of Swords. Okay. So now we have the beginning. So those of you who have not made the decision yet, don't worry, you're just on the second train. You're following closely behind all the other Capricorns, seems like. But at the same time, is there anything that Capricorn can do? I see the Ten of Cups. But this isn't a stability, and this is the second time the Ten of Cups has come out. It isn't a stability point. It is a journey, right? So is there anything that my Capricorns can do in order to stop this from snowballing out of control? That way that situation can be avoided or fixed. Is it a possibility at all? I wonder. Usually not, but just because I advocate for journeys and journeying, you know, doesn't mean that it's the only way of life. You know, some people are oak trees. I just happen to be a mosquito hawk. Is there any way? Let's see, I have the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Both in the reverse. This leads me to believe that there's actually no prior hints, right? I mean, you would have to be on your and then even then it might not be obvious. It's like not going to really be obvious or grabbable, right? Until it is big enough to grab, period. I don't think that there's really any way. There's not going to be any physical outward signs. There's not going to be any physical handles to grab in order to steer this runaway stagecoach to a place that is anything other than what it is. You haven't been given those graces. Nine of Pentacles, I do see a forward movement. I do see a progression at this time. Just those of you, like I said, who aren't on this first train, you're not that far behind. Just kind of go with the flow. Is there any messages that I can bring to my Capricorns at this time? Before I close this reading, please. Is there any other messages that I can bring to my Capricorns before I close this reading? I see the Six of Wands, right? Again, in reverse. And I have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so this person or this situation is constantly or renowningly known to not cooperate or to work well in a group setting. Like they often want to get their way. They often are inconsiderate towards the needs, wants, desires, or, you know, the effort put in by other people or people around them. Or it could be you. I see some sort of patience. I see some sort of balance happening. But for the most part, I don't think that you're going to be around for it. But I do think that when it is time, pretty much the ball is in their court. Right? If they choose to continue this way, they will have you removed from their life, and you will go on to do something, and they will be faced with the consequences of their actions. Really, nothing else needs to be known or done by you. Just do the best that you can every day that you get up, and just strive to be better every day. You will be put where you belong. Well, that was a pretty pointless reading in my land. You might have gotten something from it. You know, you might have picked up on some little tidbits here and there that did help you or shed some light, and I do hope that is the case. As always, it was a pleasure reading for you. Please like, comment, subscribe. Do hit the bell if you enjoyed the reading. And until next time, thanks for stopping at Eyes to See Tarot.